that's what really happened though. I mean, in real life, the cyber attack from China and the Tesla's being recalled.
Okay, so here's another thing about here's another huge propaganda. Here's another huge propaganda system though too.
Okay.
And I can send you a few pieces since you detective. And if you choose to look at it and educate yourself, the better for us.
For sure.
You know, so in order for the U.S. empire, because this is an empire at this point, the U.S. is an empire. It became an empire after World War II, with all the crazy ass agreements that were made amongst the West, meaning the white world, meaning Europe, Australia, so on and so forth. All these agreements were made, and so that the U.S. ended up getting propped up to essentially to become an empire of the world at this point. Well, in order for an empire to survive, it needs to create enemies all the time, so that it can justify what it does all over the world. Which means most of what the U.S. is good at, like Martin Luther King said, is violence. So all over the world, as far as our foreign policy is concerned, they go and blow shit up all the time. All the time. In my lifetime, I've not seen a war stop that was caused by, the root of it was caused by this country. And a lot of it is in countries of color too. Throughout Africa, it's created coups. Throughout the Middle East, it's created coups, so on and so forth, like that. If you look at all the wars that the U.S. has started over the past since the end of World War II, it's been on brown countries, poor countries that can't defend themselves. Because that's the only thing that the U.S. is good at. The U.S. is not good at going against something like Russia at this point, because the war in the Ukraine has been lost already. So they propagandize this stuff. Oh, China, 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 Russia, Russia, Russia. Think about this. China has never had a war. Has never had a war in thousands of years. If you look at the history, literally read history and understand what it is, it's never had a war. So why would a country like, so this stuff that they sue, oh, China does cyber things, cyber attacks, so on and so forth, like, no, it's bullshit. It's propaganda that the U.S. government has to keep on saying, because they want the confrontation. They want to dominate. They want to continue dominating the world. Now the fact to that is that the rest of the world is moved away from that mind of thinking. They want a multipolar world. In other words, get along. Everyone has equity and has equal rights to do things, and you trade economically, so on and so forth. Not that one country dominates. Not that one country comes in, blows it up, steals the shit, and continues like they've done in Africa in so many countries at this point. Look at the Congo. Look at Sudan. Look at Somalia right now. The list goes on. Look at Haiti, so on and so forth, like that. They constantly create things so that those countries remain destabilized, and so that they could easily keep staking their stuff without having to pay for it. That's why we in this country, even the poorest of us, I shouldn't say that. That's why we in this country, especially the middle class, the upper middle class, and the 1%, do so well, because we steal the stuff, sell it for cheap. Look at the price of gas, for instance, just as one example. Here in the United States, we're paying $2-3 for gas at this point. Most of the rest of the world is paying $10, $12, $15 a gallon for gas. Why is that? It's because we steal the shit, and we import it from those countries into this country, and we get it for cheap. That's the real deal for it. There is so much propaganda. I can tell you, and you gotta look at me like this though too. I'm 62 years old. I'm very well read. You can see that though too. Look at the books that I've got out there though too. I was raised in the Bronx. My mentors were black. So I heard it from those voices that knew the real deal. I heard it from the Malcolm X's, from the Martin Luther Kings. The list goes on and on and on and on, stuff like that. And those things that I'm talking about now were the same exact things that people like Malcolm X, so on and so forth, were talking about then. About the U.S. and how it does things then, and it has not stopped at this point. So what I'm saying to you is, when you hear a lot of this stuff, especially from mainstream media, like the CNN, MSNBC, so on and so forth, those are mouthpieces, literally mouthpieces for the U.S. government. There's only 5 corporations that own all of the mainstream media in this country. 5.
Yeah.
And all of those people are in bed, so to speak, are in bed with the U.S. government. They work hand in hand. How is it that every single, if you go down, whatever popular story is going on as far as foreign policy is concerned, how is it that every single channel that you listen to on mainstream media is saying the same exact thing? There's no difference in what they're saying. But if you go to outlets like the alternative outlets like Breakthrough News, which was born out of D.C., Eugene Perrier, he's a great black activist and leader in there too. Breakthrough